So this is a current hack, as you've seen before. This is a plus 22% one, which has worked very successfully in the CRZ. As you know, I've been experimenting with putting the 72 cell LTO pack in and raising the voltage to 165 volts, which has given me a fault at the moment, so I'm obviously going to look at that. I have temporarily dropped the voltage back down to the 48 cell standard voltage pack, and that's so I can gather some data from some of the other parts that we've been looking at. So I want to gather some more IPU data to see if there is any current information in that, because I didn't do that last time. So if there is current information in that, then I'll have to modify that as well to get that to match the other current sensors that we're faking with this little device here. And also then I did another one, which is this one, but this one has swappable resistors, so that I can just swap in resistors into this one to alter the current hack. And as you've also seen, we now have the infinitely variable current hack from 0 to plus 50%, which I'm also going to do some further testing on. So I've got to take a little step back to see if I can correct the problem, which is it's giving me now with the 175 volt pack. I'm just going to show you something else, so if you just bear with me a second. As you know, I fitted an HCH2 DC to DC in the car, and that's working correctly with the higher voltage. I did do a short test with that today. And it's also working correctly with the low voltage, which is the sort of 115 volt pack, which I'm running at the moment. So this is a CRZ OEM DC to DC, and this also outputs a data stream. And what I've discovered is that if you disconnect the output stream that this is outputting, then you'll get a fault. But this also receives data from the motor control module, and if you disconnect that data stream, you don't get a fault, and the DC falls back to its maximum output voltage, which is about 14.2 volts or something like that. So your battery will stay your 12 volt battery will stay much better charged. So if you want to, you could cut that wire and have a higher voltage charged 12 volt battery, because the CRZ and all the IMA cars do try to mess around with the charging of the 12 volt battery, and it leads a hard life in there, often only charged to a relatively low state of charge, and it doesn't last very long. If you were actually to have the 12 volt battery charged up to a much more normal alternator type style voltage, 13.8 plus, then it's going to last a lot better, because it hardly has to do any work at all. So anyway, that's a possible mod. So you can disconnect the data stream coming from the ECM to this, and it just falls back to its high output voltage. Obviously you can't cut the information coming from this to the ECM, otherwise you get a fault. So that's where we are at the moment with developments and work, so lots of work still to do.